I'm back, chapter 4. So, you guys, the first 4 I decided I was just gonna talk to you guys and give you a brief, maybe like the first week, just to kind of give you a briefing of the beginning of our story. And then I'm going to start sharing some videos and pictures with you. But yesterday we got pretty deep. It was like embarrassing deep. So I had to restrict the video because there's a lot of young people that follow me. So I'm gonna try to keep it clean so that you guys don't get to miss my story. But I wanna clarify a few things. So, you know, when I do this, I'm raw. By the way, I don't do my hair, I don't do my makeup. I just finish my work and then I come sit in this chair and I come to talk to you. I don't prepare, I don't do any of that. So it's very raw. So if I think while I'm talking, it's because together we're getting into my life. So the things I want to clarify from yesterday is I want to make sure that you understand clearly that in no way, shape, or form am I saying there's child molesters in the Persian entertainment industry. No, because there's child molesters in every industry. I'm just happen to be in my family. These are the things that happen to my family, me, and my Iranian family. And yeah, I was around a lot of entertainers, and no, they weren't child molesters, no. But the ones that were in my home had friends that came with them. You know, it was like a party. So, oh, we want to go to a big party? So it was kind of like the entertainment world. So don't think that I'm here to say, oh, everybody in the Persian community are child molesters in the entertainment. No, I'm not saying that. I want to make sure that you know that I grew up with the most incredible Persian entertainers. Talented, amazing, who had children of their own. The problem was that us children that are the children of these entertainers or powerful people or famous people, we tend to grow up with the nannies and on our own and have more freedom. So that's what I'm trying to say, that because my house was filled with just like, you know, think of a producer's home here in America, someone who films movies, and then people have to come and go constantly. Well, there I am, a little girl that no one was watching, and I was really like I already had boobs at 12. So, you know, I was kind of there. So people noticed me. And so I just want to clarify that you understand, yes, I did grow up in a corrupted social life. You know, my mom's friends and all those people, they were just messed up. But I wanted to make sure you knew I wasn't just talking about the entertainment people. They were they were a big part of my life, but they were not the reason why I suffered, if that makes sense. There are some great Persian entertainers. Just want to make sure that you guys understand that. So once again, let's go back to my life and the people that were around me and the bad people my dad brought around us. So that's really what we're here for. So I ended it with telling you that my father was trying to buy a new home. So let me talk to you really quickly about all the things that happened within the next couple years living in this home. He opened the doors to many, many parties. People I didn't even know were babysitting me. Some nights I would be asleep and they would go out. So I would wake up at like 2 in the morning and no one was in my house. That was scary. Scary, scary, scary. I've also woke up to people in my house that I didn't know, that all of a sudden when I went to sleep, they weren't there. But I woke up and they're there, like sleeping on my couch. I have no idea who that is. I became accustomed to it, so I wouldn't leave my room. And what I started to do is go to my window that faced the street. And that window was really scary. Remember, I used to go to my mom's room because of that window, because it was by the street and it was really scary and anybody could just come in. So I used to sit at that window at like 2, 3 in the morning and ask God if it could be my mom, the next car. I was always worried. Like I always thought she's not gonna come. That was something I went through all the way until I was in my mid-20s, late 20s. Really anxiety. If she went somewhere and I didn't hear from her, I'd be calling. I would even call the store. Like, was my mom there? That's the anxieties I had growing up. And that's why I'm talking to you, because I want to be there for you, for your anxieties. Before you become my age, if you're a young girl suffering, I'm here for you. So that's why I'm putting myself out there. In about a month or so, you'll know more about me, and then you'll understand what this project is all about. It's not about you feeling sorry for me. I waited this long because I wanted to make sure everybody was dead. Not everybody, but a lot of them, so that I can come out and talk and not have to worry about the mafia after me and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna have people that are not gonna be happy, but I'm not here to spill the beans on people. I'm here to tell you about my life and how I can help you process things in your life. So just imagine being a little girl from the age of 9 until 13 years old is when we lived in this house. Maybe 12. Just remember, I don't remember all the years. But there was so much going on. Like, I can't even explain it to you. Like, we were just kids that were left alone, okay? Out of control. There were many fights in my home. So when my mother gave birth to my brother, Petey, we still live there. I will never forget, he was so mean to my mom during her pregnancy. As a matter of fact, let me explain how he was. My mom was a brunette and like kind of a straight hair. One day we went together to get her hair done. And I want to tell you one more thing about my mom. I had the best birthday parties. She always went out of her way to make sure that at least I had great birthday parties. She really did try to give me love during the moments that she felt like it. So that's why I'm a little bitter towards her. You gave me a great birthday party, but then the next 3 weeks I didn't see you. So she did good stuff. And by the way, like there was food always in the home. She made me the best dinners. So I want you to know I wasn't deprived, but I was alone. We did have dinner together every night, but guess who had to clean every night? So like 30 people were invited to our house. Well, the young girl always has to get up in our Persian culture to clean. In my Persian culture, I don't care if the Iranians want to fight this, the young people have to say hello first. You have to walk into the room. They can walk into your room. They don't respect you, but you have to respect them. And that's what I've always tried to tell my mom. Show me respect so I can respect you back. You can't disrespect me and just walk into my room and then ask me to knock on your door. Be the example. So I never had the example. I just had people tell me what not to do while they did it. So, I spent a lot of time by myself. So that's where I feel sorry for that little kid. I spent a lot of time by myself, keeping myself happy. Amazing, right? Like I gave myself my own childhood with the friends that the family brought. And I did have friends of my own. I was actually a pretty popular girl in school. And so I had friends. But I had to keep I had a separate life. So I had to be like two different people at a very young age. So I grew up not a liar, but not completely honest with people. And then it became a habit. So I never really told people the truth. If they asked me, I would just kind of cover things up. I learned how to make everything that happened bad to me okay. And that's what I'm mad about with myself. I'm so mad at myself. That's not good to do, you guys. Don't do that. You're never gonna get respected in life because you're gonna be the one that's always, everybody calls, everybody leans on, no one asks you how you're doing because you're fine. Remember, everybody thinks you're good. I get chills when I say that to you because I wanna be weak. But I couldn't be weak. I could never be weak. I had to be strong. So being weak was not easy for me. And I want you to know that if you're young and you're suffering and people keep telling you, you're strong, you can do this. No, you don't deserve to do it. So write me. You can write me on Instagram privately. I started a page just for this YouTube. So The Naked Truth of Netta exists on Instagram. Write me private message. I'll be there for you. I don't charge. I'm not here to make money, so just to anybody that thinks I am, I'm not. I'm also not here to do my hair and makeup and show you all. No, I'm just here to tell my story. Okay, because a few people wrote me and they're like, hey, Netta, you want me to do your hair and makeup? I'm like, no, I'm not here for that. So we kind of understand that the next few years in this house that my mom bought became his house. I was always thrown into the garage, you know that. The abuse changed because I stopped it. I'm gonna tell you a couple of things that happened. My mother would bring in random people. One day, so we are here in America on a green card. And she had an enemy that actually lived with us. She let this lady live with us. When the lady left, she called ICE on us. I don't remember what it was called then. So I'm a little girl with my mom and a new dad, and police come to our door and they arrest my mom and I. So this trauma that I remember being taken away, like kind of what you see now that's happening at the border. I was older and it was so scary, you guys, because of the trauma I had as a childhood. And now I'm sitting in a room again with people I don't know. That was really scary time. But I think my mom didn't even learn a lesson. What I'm trying to tell you is she had bad people in her life. Bad friends, constantly coming and going. You think she learned? No. She probably took back that friend. So I've never learned how to respect myself, how to have self-love, self-worth, self-love, because I had a mother who trained me to be abused by a man, to be slapped in the face, to be told what to do. She's still like that. I don't want to be like that anymore, and I'm not. So I became aggressive, but I want to help you not become aggressive through life and help yourself through life without the anger. The anger will never go away. It didn't. I mean, it just recently went away for me. So, okay, so let's move on from that. I just wanted to remind you once again, the entertainment people entered my life there. But remember, the entertainment people brought in a lot of other people. So let's move on from the Persian music, film industry, okay? They're still there, but now there's a different group. And who is this group? These are the scum of the earth people. Scum of the earth. People that would stab you if you walked by and looked at them wrong. More like in my culture, in my mom's family, they would be so ashamed to even know my mom is around that. See what I mean? So they see themselves up here. Yeah, my mom's family sees them up there, but you guys were the same people that allowed your grandchild to be in a... So do you get it? It's like everything is fake. It's fake. So I grew up really just fake, with fake love. What was I saying right now, Ulf?
Fake love. You were around. The family thought they were like so much more. They would be embarrassed if they knew the kind of people they were.
Yeah. Okay, good. So now you get it. So we're moving away from the music and the Persian industry is still there, okay? But now we're moving into the mob people, I guess you want to call it. I hate to say that word, but whatever, the bad people, the organized crime people. So I'm gonna tell you two stories that I knew that I was involved with a bad guy. One, my stepdad started nightclubs. Actually, one of the clubs was exactly like Studio 54. He started this nightclubs. And I want you to know that I was already taken to nightclubs from 9, 10, 11, 12. Basically, I'd start off at like 8 or 9 o'clock there and then have to fall asleep there somewhere. But you know, he owned all these places. So I had back rooms. So I was that kid that like 3, 4 in the morning, they would like carry from the nightclub or the party or wherever I was, take me to my car, to the car, and then I most likely would have been driving over to someone else's house because they were all on crack and coke. They never slept. Remember, I'm not talking about the Persian music film industry anymore. Now we're moving on to these bad people. Yeah, I'm sure there was a few of the industry people too. But I remember like every time I was at one of these parties, there would be fights at the end of the night. And I'll never forget one of my best friends as a kid growing up. She became my best friend because our fathers were friends, and he was also a very powerful man. Beyond, I think he was like really another big mobster. We were all at dinner, and these dinners were like dinners, like tables of like 50 people at a table. And I remember sitting down. Something happened with my dad and another man. This man got up and left. And I could tell that everybody was really tense in the room. You guys, it was so scary. They came back, and 3 men came back with knives, and they started stabbing people at the party. One of my best friend's dad was stabbed almost to death. My dad always got out. I remember, like, I think he might have had security, because I don't remember. I just remember blood everywhere, and that I was being carried out. And then I always knew from that point on, like, holy shit, this is spooky. Like, people are getting stabbed and killed. And so I started seeing that kind of stuff. Like, for instance, I was in a car with my friend and her mother and her mother's friend. Her mother's friend, this mother had a husband too, and I will never forget. I'm just giving you guys bits and pieces of stories so you can understand like what they put me through. So I was in the car, and I thought we were just being, I was with my girlfriend, my age, her mom, and we were just driving, and I thought we were going to her house. No, we made a stop. We made a stop, and the mom turned around and looked at me and the girl and said, you guys have a choice. You can either come in with us or sit in the car. So basically, the plan was they were going over to someone's home. It was a wife and a daughter at the house. The father of that wife and daughter had done something to my dad's side. My dad even had women working for him. Remember that I have friends from their group. So these kids are like me. We don't know. We just go with the flow. So we go inside, and I guess they're going inside to take care of the wife and the daughter. I guess they went to threaten them. You guys, I'll never forget it. We go inside. The mom of my friend beats the shit out of the mom. The daughter was in the room hiding. I remember looking at my girlfriend saying, what's going on? What is your mom doing? I'm so scared. I don't want to be here. And I guess the girl was used to her mom doing these kind of things. I was not, because my stepdad was new to me. And so basically, the mom beat up the mother. They threatened. And then I remember them taking me and my friend back to the car. The mom came. The guy said he'll be right back. You guys, I think he went back inside and raped the daughter. I really, as an intuitive person, feel that's what happened. I don't know what happened, but I know that happened. And he came back, and we left. And I remember them laughing all the way home. And I realized, wow, I'm around such evil people. But I always knew I wasn't evil, but they were creating me as a monster. Like, they were creating a monster. I was starting to be attracted to this whole mob life. It was fun. Like everybody was scared of me. I had money, you know, it was kind of like a power trip. And my friends and I that were in the mob kids, we don't know any better. And we like when our parents are drugged out in a corner because we're doing what we need to do and have fun and enjoy ourselves. So these are just little examples for you to understand of the things I went through. I'm gonna give you one more that you can understand the abuse. I was this little girl, and our home, where I swam, was a big fence that was brick, and the other side of that brick was a high school. And that high school had their pool right there. So it was funny, when I would be swimming in my house, I could hear them swimming in the high school. So one day I climbed up the thing and I looked and I thought, oh my God, I wanna go swim there. So you guys, I was a free girl. My mom basically said, be back home by 3 every day. So I'd get on my bike and I drove over and I sat down at this high school, Birmingham High School, as a matter of fact, and I would sit and watch everybody swim. I thought it was so cool because I was a swimmer and I loved it. I didn't mention to you that I spent half my life in the pool. I basically lived in the pool because I was safe there. I was alone there. I was a mermaid. I created life there. You know, remember, I was a kid that had to create my own life. So basically, one of the days I came back, I rode my bike, a dog followed me home. And I was never allowed to have a dog because in my Persian family, not yours, calm down, don't attack me. In my Persian family, dogs are dirty. So they were like, no dogs. Well, this dog, you guys, I think was my archangel. I know you're like, oh, she's crazy. No, I'm not. This dog was special. It was a German Shepherd on its own. It followed me home. And I snuck it home. I literally snuck it home in my backyard. Where? In the garage. Remember where I was being thrown? So I would hide the dog there. And then somehow I'd work it out. Okay? And then I told my mom. I got him. I remember just saying to her, please, Mom, you guys, this dog, I would walk to Birmingham High School, watch them swim, and he walked back with me all the time. Like he was always with me. One day, the coach of Birmingham High School said to me, do you want to come and swim with us? I feel like he knew I was abused or something. And I said yes, and then I started going there, you guys, and they asked me to join their team, and I actually started swimming. I had substance in my life. I had a dog. I had this coach, and it was like this connection that I had every day. It was during summer, so I could go every day. You guys, when my stepdad found out about all of this, he took my dog and put it to sleep and threatened the Birmingham High School swimming coach and basically stopped it. Once again, where I found a little bit of solitude and peace, he put my dog to sleep, and the dog had nothing wrong. He killed my dog. He literally killed my dog. I don't know if they killed my dog. Supposedly, they took it to the veterinarian. I doubt it. I doubt it. So overnight, I lost my dog. Finally, the dog that I had for comfort. So those are the abuse. It went on for years and years and years. All kinds of abuse. For instance, he just was angry. I'm angry. Get over here, stand here, kick me, slap me. Kicked me in my shin with those freaking pimp boots. You know those boots those men wear? Just to kick me in my shins. I have scars. I'll tell you what happened one time. I was running around my pool, and you know those scissors that you cut branches? Literally like scissors that are this big. It was sticking out like this, and I remember I still have the scar on my foot. It went into my leg, and I was trying to get it out of my foot, and my stepdad walked over to me and pulled it out, And I was screaming, you guys. He poured vodka on my foot and said, "You'll be fine." I was not fine. I was dead, dying. But you guys, I'm a healer. I'm a healer. I healed myself. I have always healed myself. That dog came to tell me that I'm a healer. So I started to feel things a lot. And I started protecting myself. I actually could protect myself. I learned how not to get in trouble with him so much. And then I just kind of figured out my gift. And when my friends would be funny, my friend would be like, "Oh, my arm hurts." And then I would hold it and we would all pretend it got better. It did get better. I was a healer. So I'm gonna finish it off with one last story. I wanna tell you, okay, so what's a good story to tell you guys? So here we are, now we move into this house. Okay, let me tell you about this house. This house, back then, was about $500,000. It belonged to this beautiful Persian belly dancer who left that house, and before her, a bunch of people left that house. And when the belly dancer had bought the house, she bought it from some Italian people, and all the furniture was very like Italian gold and big chandeliers, like not a humble home. It was cold, cold home. They never told my family, and why they left all the furniture and left is because the person that lived in that house, the Italian family, killed her own kids and buried them there. This house was scary. Everything began in this house. When we moved into that house, lights on and off. I mean, this house was huge. It was scary, and a lot of things happened. But I'm gonna share one thing with you about this house and about my healing. One night, I go to sleep. Now, remember that I have, sorry, my legs are hurting, that I have I don't know if I told you guys, so when we moved, my stepdad hired me a driver. So now they don't have to do anything for me anymore. At this point, we have a maid, we have drivers. We went from like a normal, okay living to like, boom, high life, okay? So my mom was never home, always parties. I was that kid that basically never had a family. So I created my own family with the workers of our home. As a matter of fact, my stepdad caught me one day, I think I might have told you, swimming with the housekeeper, and that was one of the, oh no, my stepbrother was with me too. It was his son. We both took the maid, the housekeeper, swimming, and literally got our butts beaten to death, like death. He even got worse than me. So we were taught not to socialize with the help, and then they were just there. I can't even, like today, if I bring a housekeeper, I'm so uncomfortable. I want to always give them things. I don't like to treat I don't look down at anybody, I should say. So, and I'm not that person in life in general, even now. So he beat us up there. And then I'm going to tell you, one night I go to sleep and I have a dream. And my dream is about my little brother. Remember, when we moved out of my mom's house into this mansion, he was a year old, almost a year old, so 10 months. I had a dream that the guy that was driving me to school, very nice man, was driving me to school. He was like those guys that you saw in the mafia movies, like that man, the sweet man, that took care of everything. And I just loved him. So he came into my dream, and what he was doing in my dream was bringing me a white flower. And then he kept walking out and then coming back with the white flower. And then I remember taking the white flower and looking at him and saying, what is this? And he said, I want you to hold this white flower. Okay. Well, you guys, that morning when I woke up, that dream was right there. I was this girl that stayed after school until like 5 or 6 p.m., as long as I could stay out of my house. The driver, when he was taking me to school in the morning, I looked at him and I said, Mansoor June, do you think you can pick me up right after school? I don't know why, but something tells me I need to come home. And he was really weirded out by that. Keep in mind that my stepfather was in jail at that time. So, I'm skipping. Was he in jail? You know what? I'm not sure if he was in jail at that time. I'm just trying to tell you this story so you can understand my gift. Okay, so I don't remember. My mom was not home. So the people that were in my home was a housekeeper and a friend of my mom's that was staying with us. We always had a friend. So I'm at school. And then my little brother, who's 10 months old, with the housekeeper at home. I'm having anxiety after school. Where are you? Why isn't Mansoor here? So I go to the office. I'm calling home. No one answers. Finally, he shows up about 3:30. And I'm running to him. And I'm like, get me home, get me home, get me home. And he was really weirded out by me. I was weirded out by me. I had this anxiety that I needed to get home. Okay. So we get home, I leave my bags in his car and I just run out. When he drove up the driveway of this house, it was a big driveway, and then once you walked into the house, there was a very long living room. At the end of the living room was a hallway, and then I had to go to the end of that hallway, and that's where my brother's room was. The very first thing I wanted to do is go to my brother. I don't know why. I just needed to go to my brother. 10-month-old brother was supposed to be in his crib. I'll never forget it. I could see it. His crib is here. That's his room. When you walk out of the room, there's a bathroom right there. The housekeeper was in the bathroom cleaning. I said, where's my brother? She said, in the crib. I said, he's not in the crib. She says, in the crib. He had learned how to climb out of the crib. You guys, a force took my shirt. You guys pulled me. As a little girl, I remember running through my hallway, through the living room. I ran outside to the pool. Now remember, we had a ginormous pool. At the very end of our pool was the entire city, the valley. So we had a really beautiful view. There's a freaking monster in the pool. I look and I see a purple monster on the pool lying like this. My brother was a baby. That's not my brother. So I remember running, taking my hands and lifting that purple thing out of the water. And when I did, it was my brother. It was dead. It was dead. And I put him down, and I just remember that my hands felt so weird, and my hands went right back onto him. I was screaming from the top of my lungs, help. You guys, the driver never left. The maid and my mom's friend freaking out. I remember looking at them. They weren't doing anything. The driver ran to my brother, turned him around. I remember him sticking his finger in my brother's mouth and then hitting him. And then all of a sudden, I see oranges that he was eating before that come out of his mouth, and then water and water and water and water. And then my little brother is like started breathing from that big to deflating. And I just remember the guy telling me to keep my hands on my brother. And I think he knew I was a healer. They got 911. 911 got there within seconds. My mom is not home, you guys. My mom does not know her little baby just drowned. She has no idea. So the good news I want to tell you is that my brother started breathing. And I just remember being there like a zombie. They needed my parents. We had no parents there. They took my brother in the ambulance. I was not with my brother in the ambulance. They took my brother in the ambulance. I don't remember if I was in there with them. I do remember this. My mom's friend now has to call my mother to tell her that your son is being rushed to Cedars-Sinai, where he was born. We don't even know if he's gonna live. You guys, my mother had the same dream. So the night before this happened, my mom had a bad feeling. So this is what happens. My mom's friend is calling her friend's house to tell her, get your freaking ass home. So by the time my mom's friend that's in my house says, I talk to Shireen? That lady says, Shireen, you have a phone call. My mom passed out. She knew. Okay, so I have a gift that I've received from my mom and my grandmother, but they didn't ever know how to use it. My mom definitely sees things. Anytime she's had a dream, we've always been scared because it's always something. If she remembers the dream, it always happens. So long story short, the good news is my brother made it. Why did he live? Because he was underwater for 15 minutes. The weather was ice cold. If I didn't get to him exactly that moment, when it's cold, your lungs close. So no water got in his lungs. And that is why he lived. And as I pulled him out of the water, that was the very first time I knew I was gifted. And I didn't know how to use my gift. But that was the trauma, guys. Do you get it? Have you ever heard me say that I haven't had any trauma yet? Not yet, right? All right, so we're gonna end here because I think that was pretty long. And you get the basis of the stuff. The next one I'm gonna tell you is my dad's arrest. And that was the most traumatizing part of my life. And then all the stuff, ooh, chills coming through my body now. All right, I'm gonna end here. I started to think of more things to tell you guys, so maybe I'll do. How about this? Why don't you comment and ask me some questions, and I'll answer on my next video, okay? I'll be back tomorrow. I love you, and I'm sorry if this one went a little longer. Bye.